Mortgage Financing by Jason Luthi. Mortgages are loans that are taken out for property and real estate. Mortgages are normally paid back in the form of monthly payments that include interest and principal. Mortgages also include taxes, any kind of insurances like a PMI, interest, and the principal. There's three most common kinds of mortgages are the fixed rate, adjustable rates, and interest-only loans. When we start to consider if we want to take out a mortgage and when and what conditions are best for it, the current situation that we have right now, according to themortgagereport.com, I was able to find it was according to Freddie Mac's weekly mortgage rate. There was a survey that a 30-year mortgage was closing last month at 3.46%, and he also mentioned that even the 15-year loans are closing also at just about as low as that. Also, he talks about that the 30-year mortgage rates are down more than 50 basis points, and so it's a good time to buy a house from what I've been able to gather and to understand. Something that I found that was interesting in that is he talked about if you could afford a house that was worth $400,000 last year, December, you'd actually be able to increase that by 7% right now. And so you'd be able to afford a house that's $427,000. So you'd actually be able to upgrade $27,000 if you were buying a house at this time. So it is a good time to buy. And so understanding the present situation with mortgage financing is great, but we also need to understand what's going to happen in the future to be able to predict a little bit of when to get into the market. Predicting mortgage rates, for the most part, as I did the research, it was fairly uncertain. There's things that drive the market up and that drive it down, and these things happen pretty commonly. It's an always moving up and down, but if you can kind of understand a few of the factors that move the market up and down, we can then almost predict what a future market would look like. A couple things that I found that affect the mortgage rates are inflation rates. If the inflation rates are falling, then that circumstance can cause the mortgage rate to fall as well. Also, a weaker than expected economic data, war, disaster, and calamities, all these things will actually affect the mortgage rates in a way that they will actually fall. And in the opposite side, if we have rising inflation rates, that's going to be the opposite, and the mortgage rates are actually going to increase. Some interesting facts that I found out as I was doing my research is the first one was about the private mortgage insurance, or the PMI. Most institutions when you buy a home, you're not necessarily required to put down 20% on your home, but if you do, then you're not required to put this insurance on your home, which is actually going to decrease that monthly mortgage payment, which is always nice. And the next thing is just about inflation. Most of the sites that I went to, inflation is a huge and something that causes mortgage rates to go up and down, seen very dramatically from what I was able to tell. Most of the things, as I researched what causes the market to go up and down, inflation was a very common denominator in many of those.